The point of this painting, Zenobia, part of a series called Decolonizing History that is an ongoing series for me, addresses the fact that women throughout history have been mostly represented through misogynistic expressions of creativity, at their core created by white European men for the most part, in a way that has resulted in altering their image, their current image. So all the stereotyping and the misrepresentations that we experience today have their root in a practice of systematically changing and altering the true representation of women from the global south to fit them into the mold that worked for the people who were representing them economically and politically and socially for various reasons. And this practice started way before colonialism and expansion. It started in antiquity, where, for example, Cleopatra, the only written history we have of her is by Roman historians who meant, by recording facts about Cleopatra, to misrepresent her in an effort to preserve the Roman Empire's values and interests. Behind me is a painting of Zenobia, who is the queen of Palmyra, who became infamous and declared her city an independent state. And a war ensued in which Zenobia herself was part of the fighting on the ground. And the two reasons why she's famous in the Arab world: one, she stood up to the man, and two, because she was a female heroine, actual on the ground, the warrior queen. Eventually, Zenobia was beaten by Rome and was part of the parades that celebrated the victory back in Rome, and the winner of the war would be at the front of the parade, and behind him was all the loot that was brought back from that campaign and the vanquished leaders that they fought. And among these leaders apparently was Zenobia, and legend has it that she was dressed in gold with gold chains, and she was walking in that victory parade. And this is the image that remains of Zenobia in the West. And it's been repurposed and reimagined through the years. But images of Zenobia in art have always been Zenobia as the vanquished, enslaved queen, rather than Zenobia as the valiant woman, warrior, queen, who brought great things to her state and her city, and who lived a life of leadership before becoming herself a prisoner of war. So my question is, why is it that the remaining images of the queens and women leaders of the global south and the Arab world, the images that remain, are always orientalized, they're always Europeanized, they're always represented in a position of weakness, rather than a celebration of what they did politically and socially and economically to the places where they led. They're always sexualized and mystified and presented in clothing that is very revealing, which was not the case in their normal life, and represented as purely colonial images of what the West likes to think that we are. And so my series tries to begin to think about these issues and begin to correct these images and reimagine them, maybe in a different language, in a different visual language than the ones that remain to us and that are so prevalent that they have created a whole narrative of women of the region, which is frankly all false.